Welcome to the Fantasy Throwdown Podcast, bringing you the latest updates from the world of sports, gambling, and pop culture. Because you can't have a show without hot takes or a Tiger King meme these days. Know what I'm saying? Now, with over 200 episodes and ready to get after it again, here's your host, Dwayne Callender.
Okay, folks, Thursday Night Football, and we're going to keep this game script very simple between the Patriots and Falcons. Pats traveling to Atlanta, and they are favored in this matchup by 6.5. Listen, the Falcons are terrible. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is a rough Thursday night matchup. We got an underline of 47. You know, I'm not sure how this game really blows over unless the Pats just blow out Atlanta. I don't see Atlanta scoring enough points to really be relevant in this matchup. So I'm having a very tough time trying to come up with a way to sell this matchup other than saying this is pretty much the Pats and move on. I don't think this is necessarily the game to hang your hat on in terms of, you know, this is the way everything's going to pan out. I think, you know, realistically, we're kind of hurtling towards, we know the matchups that make the most sense. We know who's going to be good, who's not so good. And we just kind of move on from there. I don't think we need to over-dramatize this slate to begin with. So, to me, if you want to bet on this slate for the money line, the money line is just like incredibly rich. Like the Pats are like minus 330. I mean, that's fine. If you're just looking to pocket some change, I'm fine betting the Pats money line. But I think they cover here as well. The question is, you know, how do they get there? And Atlanta has so many deficiencies on offense. As I said, I have a really tough time building a lineup featuring two Atlanta people that aren't based on the fact that they're going to get blown out and they're just going to get garbage time points. Like, that's really where I'm going towards with the script building process tonight. It's just, you know, playing Pats in the captain, whether it's Mac Jones or a running back, and just going from there. To me, this is just a relatively straightforward slate, and not to go too crazy breaking it down in terms of not to go too crazy in terms of breaking it down, because it just doesn't make sense overthinking this, is what I'm getting at. So for me personally, you either go Damian Harris in the captain, or you go Mac Jones in the captain. And to me, if you're going Damian Harris in the captain, then you're running it back with a pass catcher on the Pat side. Jacoby Myers has no real ceiling. I mean, when I say no real ceiling, I mean he has a very low ceiling. Let me just be clear with that. And on the Falcons side, who are we going to go to? I mean, you know, Russell Gage gets a ton of targets on the Atlanta side. He's 6,600. And people like picking Kyle Pitts. You know, Kyle Pitts is the most talented guy on the Falcons. To me, I just look at this and say, why wouldn't the Patriots take away Kyle Pitts? Kyle Pitts is the only guy on this team that could legitimately hurt the Patriots on this Falcon squad. I mean, Calvin Ridley is still away from the team. I'm not even going to talk about the circumstances behind that. I have my thoughts, but that's neither here nor there for the moment. You know, to me, it's just a matter of which Patriots guys you feel comfortable playing and kind of go from there, and then just do the run back script with Atlanta. No Cordero Patterson for Atlanta. So Wayne Gallman is in the mix to get touches for Atlanta, but he's 8,400 on DraftKings. He's more in play on FanDuel at 6,500. DraftKings, he's an immediate X in my opinion. He doesn't get enough carries, and I think the only way you could play him is if this game's closed, which I don't believe it will be. So to me, it's just it's a non-starter. So realistically, it's just if we're going Mac Jones in the captain, I want Hunter Henry in the tight end spot on DraftKings. He's 7K on DraftKings. It looks as though I'm checking the news here as it goes along. Yeah, it looks like Jonnu Smith is going to be in the mix tonight for the Patriots. So it does slightly ding the upside with Hunter Henry, but honestly, it's not as though the Pats are they run a ton of passing plays. I mean, Mac Jones realistically is only going to be throwing 25 to maybe 28 times in this matchup. I don't see the Pats airing it out. I just think they're going to be too far ahead more often than not, and it's going to be through the run game. The question is that does Brandon Bolden get the work in the passing game out of the backfield? Because it's not really Damian Harris, a little bit, and not really Ramondre Stevenson, and I'll talk about Stevenson as well, because depending on who you're talking to, people like Stevenson to get the passing work, and from a fantasy projection, he's getting more love than Damian Harris. I think that I know Damian Harris is out with the concussion, but Stevenson got a ton of run last game, and the thing we know about the Pats, they don't like giving you the same look twice. So I have a tougher time accepting that Stevenson is just going to take over the bulk of the work for the Pats run game. I think it's going to be a lot of Harris, and then when they get up, it's going to be a lot of Brandon Bolden, because they're going to be too far up. Why run down Stevenson? Yes, I know he's a rookie, but realistically, the Pats have legitimate aspirations of making a postseason run now. They're 6-4 now. Get another win on the books, and they're getting in the mix where they have that legitimate shot at a wild card spot at least, and possibly if Buffalo keeps stubbing their toe of winning the division. Listen, it sounds crazy, but stranger things have happened. You never know with Buffalo, because Buffalo's been stubbing their toes when they're healthy. We haven't seen if Buffalo actually get nicked up with major injuries. They lost Dawson Knox for a game or two. That's not a major injury in my opinion. So you never know. The Pats are going to try to look to put this one away early and salt it away. I really don't see the projections how Atlanta's scoring 20 points on this New England defense. I really struggle with this one. So to me, I'm playing a lot of Mac Jones with passing game and getting two receivers, whether it's a wide receiver or tight end. Like I said, with Jonnu Smith in, it hurts Hunter Henry a bit because Jonnu Smith is 2,400, so you can get creative with the builds. And then you could always substitute Jonnu Smith. If you don't feel comfortable with the Brandon Bolden at 4,800 in the passing game work, you can play some Jonnu Smith. I just think you can get creative with the roster construction. So to me, it's not the end of the world when you start building out teams and you're just playing at least 4 Patriots players and going from there. I don't think it's the craziest thing in the world. So to me, we go there and we kind of tell ourselves that this is the play to begin with. So for me, I just I look at this as a case where we can we can look through it a little bit closer and not get as cute with the selection. So, as I said, this week, we don't have to commit to a particular build outside of a Pats victory. I don't see Atlanta staying competitive. I'm being perfectly honest. So this could be a snoozer of a game. So you can play kicker if you want. with Nick Folk, if the Pats don't always punch it into the end zone, which is always a possibility. Younghoe Koo for Atlanta, like that's a possibility at 4K. Because I don't see a ton of again, if Matt Ryan was playing better, if that offensive line was playing better, maybe I could see this one staying close. I really don't. It's like I have a really tough time seeing this game staying that close. So that's why I like Pat's run game. Like regardless, in my builds, I'm having at least one Pat's running back in the build itself. Because whether it's Bolden with garbage time work or maybe it's Stevenson, I think Stevenson could be a bit of a trap play. I think they're going back to Harris, to be honest with you. We've seen New England troll us before when, they hammer one guy one week and then they don't go back to him the next week and you think he got benched. We got the famous Jonas Gray incident of a couple of years back. It's just... I don't know. It's just one of those things that the Pats do with their running back situation. So don't get fooled with it if somehow Stevenson doesn't factor in that nearly as much as you would expect them to. So that's going to do it for me, folks. I'm going to get out of here so I can wrap things up and finalize certain things, and you guys can listen to my input before the game kicks off. So good luck tonight, and until next time, have a good one.
Thanks for listening to the Fantasy Throwdown Podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and all other major outlets.